The desert wind blew softly across the sands of Luxor as the archaeological team worked late into the evening, convinced they were on the verge of finding nothing more than another small burial chamber. But the moment the final slab of limestone was removed, a strange shift washed over the group. The chamber below was colder than it should have been, untouched by the heat of the desert. Dr. Samira Khalid descended the stone steps carefully, her torchlight revealing carvings that were instantly unusual. The walls did not show images of pharaohs, gods, or familiar hieroglyphic stories. Instead, they displayed long ocean routes, stars, and what looked like distant coastlines. Her torch moved slowly until she saw it, a massive stone tablet resting in the shadows. Dust brushed away with a trembling hand revealed a map, detailed, sharp, and unmistakably ancient. But it was not a map of Africa or the Mediterranean. Its outline was too familiar, too precise. It was the shape of North America. Samira froze, recognizing the Great Lakes, the East Coast, even the Gulf of Mexico carved with stunning accuracy. The coastline was marked with triangular symbols used by the Egyptians to denote foreign colonies or lands beyond the kingdom. It made no sense. No Egyptian records ever suggested they crossed the Atlantic, let alone mapped continents thousands of years before Columbus. Her eyes followed a long carved route stretching across the Atlantic Ocean, connecting the Nile Delta to the American coastline. But it was the final carving that chilled her blood. A massive serpent-like figure filled the ocean space, its jaws open as if swallowing the waves. Beneath it were symbols translating to a single ominous warning, the guardian of the forbidden lands. Samira's hands shook as she stepped back. This was more than a geographical discovery. This hinted at something terrifying, something the ancient Egyptians feared enough to record in secret. News of the discovery leaked quickly, and global governments demanded access to the frozen images. Satellite agencies, comparing the carved symbols to modern data, discovered a strange alignment. One symbol on the map matched a location in present-day Louisiana, a place associated with native legends of sky beings, serpent guardians, and lands where travelers mysteriously vanished. The combination of Egyptian warning signs and Native American myths intensified global confusion. Experts debated ferociously. Was the map a coincidence? A hoax? A misinterpretation? But the scans of Louisiana showing a massive geometric structure buried underground changed everything. It did not resemble any natural formation. It was circular, metallic, artificial, something ancient yet technologically incomprehensible. Suddenly, the idea that Egyptians had crossed the ocean seemed like the least shocking part of the discovery. Samira watched the world's reaction unfold with a mix of excitement and dread. The serpent symbol haunted her thoughts. If the Egyptians had gone so far as to carve warnings and seal the map away for 5,000 years, then perhaps they had not intended for anyone to find it. Perhaps some secrets were buried not because they were forgotten, but because they were too dangerous to remember. The Louisiana air felt thick and heavy as the international research team stepped into the swamp. Dr. Samira Khalid arrived with a growing sense of unease. Deep penetration radar scans had confirmed a massive underground structure nearly a mile wide, perfectly circular, and emitting faint electromagnetic pulses. Its placement precisely matched the triangular symbol on the ancient Egyptian map. Local tribes had warned them, their elders repeating centuries-old stories of a sleeping guardian sealed by ancient visitors from the east. But the warnings were dismissed as myth. Science could not ignore something of this scale. For 2 days, excavation machines tore through layers of soil and stone until they struck something impossibly smooth. The buried structure's surface appeared carved from a single enormous stone block, polished as though untouched by time. The workers uncovered what looked like a giant circular seal, engraved with the same serpent symbol Samira had seen in Egypt. Her heart pounded as she approached it. This was no coincidence. The Egyptians had been here. They had sealed something beneath this ground long before recorded American history even began. The moment the machinery attempted to lift the circular stone, the earth trembled violently. Birds erupted into the sky, animals fled, and the swamp water rippled in unnatural patterns. Instruments began picking up electromagnetic spikes strong enough to shut down electronics. Radios crackled with static before going silent. The air suddenly smelled metallic, charged with an energy that felt alive. A thin fracture cut through the stone seal. At first it was silent, but soon a long hiss echoed upward, like a breath escaping after thousands of years. The fracture widened, and a black vapor seeped out, crawling across the ground like living shadow. The team stumbled back as the earth split further, revealing a cavern beneath. Then something moved, long, coiled, shimmering with scales made of something neither stone nor flesh. The creature rose slowly, impossibly large, its eyes glowing like molten gold. Samira gasped. This was the serpent carved on the map. The Guardian, the entity the Egyptians had feared enough to imprison across an ocean. Its body coiled upward, creating a towering silhouette that blotted out the sky. But instead of attacking, the creature lifted its head, releasing a strange, resonant sound. The electromagnetic pulses surged across the region. Power grids collapsed, satellites flickered, compasses spun wildly. It was as though the creature's very presence disrupted the world's natural forces. Samira realized the horrifying truth. The map was not meant to direct anyone here, it was meant to warn them away. The Egyptians had sealed this creature with deliberate care, hoping time would bury its memory. Humanity had not discovered an ancient secret, it had unleashed an ancient mistake. As the creature released another pulse that crackled through the air, Samira understood. Some discoveries rewrite history, others end it.